Hello everybody and welcome back to a brand new episode of our NASCAR My Driver Career Mode series here on the channel. Hope you're all having a great day. Today we make our final Xfinity series start of the season here at the Charlotte Roval, where we qualified on pole in this JRM number 8 Chevrolet Camaro. A lot to unpack today with an Xfinity race, 2 truck series races to decide who makes the final 4, and we have a subscriber race coming at the end, and we'll see who makes the final 4 for all 3 top series here with trucks, Xfinity, and Cup series here as we got underway in the Xfinity race, and it didn't start without a little bit of drama. I actually made a little bit of contact with Justin Allgaier on the initial start right there as you're making that turn into that final chicane, heading down into turn 1 now, and very weird start it was. The AI are a little bit weird with restarts and just the initial start here with the Roval with the awkward chicane because they don't do what NASCAR does and goes through the oval section on the front straightaway. So a little bit weird, a little bit chaotic there to get this thing started, but we were out in front. We're looking for our second Xfinity win in just 3 starts, and I will have some news to announce on the Xfinity series for our future in the next episode, which will be the season finale of this first chapter of the prologue of our truck series career. Then we go into chapter 2 and the final chapter of the prologue, which will be the Xfinity series. 10 lap races all it was here at the Charlotte Roval. It was 2 lap stages in stage 1 and 2. And as you guys know, that there is no cautions for the end of stage 1 at road course races no longer in NASCAR. So it was just cruising to a stage 1 victory for us. But as we were closing in towards the end of stage 1, actually the gap between myself and second place of Justin Allgaier was continuing to come down at quite a significant and maybe a bit of an alarming rate here. Now, as we would win stage 1, Allgaier, Burton, as well as Allmendinger and Cozy would round out the top 5. Showhouse there in the top 10 with Daniel Hemrick rounding out the top 10. And a little bit later here now in stage 2, very calm stage 1 and 2 it was, so there really wasn't much to show you guys here at the Charlotte Roval, surprisingly. I was expecting a little bit more chaos in the early portions of this race. I did have a moment right there though into turn 1. This is on the final lap of stage 2. I clipped the turtle a little bit too severely, and it sent me airborne a little bit there, and that allowed Allgaier to close up right on my back bumper, but fortunately it wouldn't be close enough for him to really pounce on anything, so we would lead the way into the bus stop chicane for the final time here in stage 2, and there is a caution at the end of stage 2, as you guys know that by now with our new road course rules, and there's a lot of rule changes on the way that I'm excited to share with you guys in the future of this career mode series, but not really until we get to the main part of the career mode in the Cup series. But we lead the way through the final chicane here, and it's going to be a stage 1 victory, and it's going to be a stage 2 victory here as we hang on over Allgaier. But it's pretty evident that Allgaier's got some speed, and there you see the 16 of AJ Allmendinger, who's of course known to be a road course ringer, getting P3, and it was Cozy there in 4th place. As you see the rest of the field there in the top 10, no positions really shuffled around in those last few moments. So no pit stops necessary. We would get ready to go green for what was going to be just a 4-lap stage 3 here from the Charlotte Roval. We will, of course, be doing longer Xfinity races next season when we're actually a regular now as we get underway for the start of Stage 3, and the same thing happened on that restart that we had on the original start. There was contact with Allgaier, a bunch of confusion, nobody's going, and then all of a sudden, here comes AJ Allmendinger, who just goes by on the inside, and I was all confused. Everybody was confused. Like I said, nobody was going, so I decided to wait, and next thing you know, here comes AJ Allmendinger sending one up the inside. He goes to the lead after a bit of a chaotic start here to Stage 3 now, as we are a few car lengths behind him as we dive down into turn 2 and 3 here now as we come through these sweeping double right-handers, and we try to set him up here now as we exit the corner. He goes a little bit wide now. Allmendinger goes very defensive. I said, okay, you go defensive. I'm going to lunge it around the left-hand side, around the outside here. Potential huge move to take the lead here with 4 laps to go in the Charlotte Roval in our 3rd and final Xfinity start on the season. Contact with Allmendinger. He's going to go wide into the grass, and he's going to go head on into the concrete barrier. Allmendinger with a huge moment there. He is out of the race in the Charlotte Roval. I was a little bit over aggressive here. You see the onboard with him, and I stuck my nose probably where I shouldn't have, and we just took out a playoff contender. But fortunately for Allmendinger, he will remain in the playoffs. Yet enough of a point buffer now, as after all that had happened, we were under attack from Michael Cozy Jr. Winvow going for the lead. He's still looking for his first Xfinity win after a very rough season. He takes the lead contact with Justin Allgaier there, and that 7 car current teammate of ours now has actually definitely roughed him up. Maybe a little bit too much because I did the same thing. I chopped his nose into that chicane. I was really pushing hard because I felt like I'm the fastest one here, and I really want to win this race, of course, here, and get 2 wins in just 3 Xfinity starts. We're having a way more success rate in the Xfinity series than we are in the truck series, but we come through already to 2 laps to go in the Charlotte ROVAL, still running behind Cozy, but we were getting closer and closer, and we were pulling away from 3rd on back. So now it's just down to myself and Michael Cozy Jr. to duel it out for a victory here. Cozy looking for his first win in the Xfinity series. It's been a very rough debut in the season for him, or in the series for him, compared to David Schulthouse, who will be moving up to the Cup Series next season, and his team and car will be revealed at the beginning of next season here. Now as we come through to the start of the final lap, I get through the chicane very, very well to start this final lap. Very strong, and we have a lot of momentum on our side starting this final lap down into turn 1. Cozy already probably looking in his mirror, seeing me coming. He didn't get through turn 1 very well, and as we dive down into turn 2, we're within about 2 car lengths of that number 99 Logitech and VRS Chevrolet Camaro, and you can see I'm just hitting the apexes a little bit better and a little bit smoother right here than Cozy. Now he's leaving a little bit of room for no error. He doesn't want to be making errors right there, and I was of course pushing the issue, getting close to those turtles. You know, if we make an error at this point, who cares? But now as we head towards the oval portion of this road course, we're going to have an opportunity now to get within another couple of car lengths. We get through the sweeping left-handers pretty well now as we're going to make that transition into the oval. I'm going to get right to the back bumper there, into the back bumper of Cozy. Now into oval 1, we get into his bumper again. There's some more contact with Michael Cozy Jr. on this final lap dash for the race victory in the Charlotte ROVAL. We have a good gap between myself and 3rd place, and Cozy gets a little bit off the pace. We go to the right-hand side. We're going to be side by side down into the bus stop chicane for the final lap, final time here. Here comes now the 7 of Allgaier now as we're side by side with Cozy. He gets a way better exit though than myself. He gets the power down. He's got the traction. I don't quite have that. And here comes Allmendinger up my insider. Sorry, Justin Allgaier, that is in the number 7 Brandt Camaro, and I only have one option at this point. I gotta absolutely send it into that chicane if I want to have a shot at beating Cozy Jr. here into the chicane for the final time. I'm gonna sail one up the inside. We lock up the brakes a little bit sideways. Contact with the 99 of Cozy. More contact. It's gonna be a side-by-side finish to the line. Contact. We spin, and Cozy wins in a photo finish. Michael Cozy Jr. is an Xfinity Series winner late in his rookie season. He missed the playoffs actually, so it's not going to get him anywhere, but it builds up some momentum as I immediately just brought it to the pit lane and threw it in the pit box there and called it a day. 2nd place in a photo finish, as you can see the timing there in the middle, so 0.037 seconds between myself and Michael Cozy Jr. What a finish, what a way to start this episode, and we transition now into the truck series, and we're going to make a decision on who makes the final 4 here today in the truck series. And we started on pole again actually for Talladega Superspeedway, 20 laps around Talladega Superspeedway, stage 1 and 2, both 4 laps apiece as we would get ready to go green flag here in Talladega. And very fortunate for us, we are already locked into the final 4. We won last episode in Las Vegas, so if we get wrecked here and if we get wrecked in Martinsville, it's not a big deal. We're locked in. We're okay. You saw a terrible start there for the number 4 of John Hunter Nemechek as we're side by side, 3 wide already through turns 1 and 2. These guys are not going to hesitate to get aggressive here today in Talladega Superspeedway. Now you can see 3 by 3 by 3, 7, 8 rows deep already now, as I just wanted to hold the inside. I wanted to kind of play it safe as possible here in these opening couple of stages and just make it to stage 3, and then of course reevaluate kind of our mindset here as we're now, look at this, 3 lanes deep all the way through the pack. This is just the first lap of the race. There's no way we can keep this up the whole race length, and if we do, I'm sure that there's going to be a big accident that results from it now, as we're going to be still 3 wide for the lead. I still wanted to lead the first lap here through the tri-oval. We're going to get a nice push from the 88 of Matt Crafton, some good momentum right there, and we will lead lap 1 just barely by about a quarter of a car length or a truck length over Sheldon Creed in that number 2, but unfortunately he had a way better push in the middle down the back straightaway. He would get clear of me. Ben Rhodes was just about clear. We were actually briefly 4 wide down the back straightaway, so I settled in behind Creed all the way to the final lap of the stage, and thankfully there was a hole for me to jump up, and now on this final lap of stage 1 I make a move and try to take the lead and potentially get another stage win, which isn't going to do me anything, but you know what, it takes points away from Creed, who we would love to see not in the final 4, because he's definitely been one of our strong contenders along with John Hunter Nemechek here. Now as we go down this back straightaway for the final time, 4 lanes coming behind us. Which one do I cover off? I stay where I am. I'm going to cover John Hunter Nemechek because I feel like if I'm 4 wide in the middle, it's not going to end well on this final lap in stage 1. one. Look at the scene here. 4 wide, the whole pack. Unbelievable sight here in Talladega Super Speedway now. I have never seen anything like that in iRacing now as we come through to throw a block on John Hunter Nemechek, who had some good momentum, but it's not going to really work in my favor because look at the time we're giving up coming to the line through the tribal. We're going to fall outside of the top 10 after being P1 at the start of the final lap, and unbelievable end right there as Sheldon Creed picks up the stage victory here over Ben Rhodes and Matt Crafton now, as nobody would come to the pit lane, so of course we would get back underway for the start of stage 2. And we're watching guys like Ben Rhodes, John Hunter Nemechek, Sheldon Creed, Matt Crafton for the final 4 spots in the playoffs. And of course I'll have an update at the end of this race as we would get underway for the start of stage 2. I left a lot of ground between myself and the next truck because I was just caught sleeping, like the worst restart I've had all season long. Obviously not very concerned since we are locked into the next round of the playoffs, so I didn't really care, and we were caught up very quickly here as we're right on the back of the 29 of Joey Stone. 3 by 3 once again already forming here throughout this pack. These guys just have zero chill, to say the least, and here I am out of turn 2. We're already closing in on the final lap of stage 2, and as we went down this back straightaway, you can see to my right there's 2 trucks to our right. We're 4 wide in the middle again here down this back straightaway towards turn 3. Not the position that I want to be in by any means. Now as we make contact with the 26 of Matt O'Brien, we're going to go spinning in turn 3. A big accident for myself. We've been hit from every angle, I feel like, and we are completely destroyed here in Talladega. That is just out of nowhere. Race over, and you can see what happened. I just merged down into the 26. That was 100% my fault, and we got a huge hit there from Haley Deegan and then Ryan Truex as well, and I think the Gray clipped us as well, but that was it. Our day was over, and that just shows you how quickly a day can come to an end at Talladega. 15 minutes of required repairs and 6 minutes optional. We were done. That was it. And it would be actually Parker Kligerman that would pick up the victory in Talladega for the 2nd time in his career. This was the point situation going into the final race of the next round to determine the final 4. Rhodes good by 29, John Hunter good by 25, Creed by 20, Crafton out by 20, and you saw Smith and Zane Smith all out by over 20 points. So realistically, coming into this race, that would get underway pretty quick here as we start at P11. Matt Crafton, as it looks like realistically, is in a must-win scenario, but he starts on pole, and Ben Rhodes is not even in the top 10. So in reality, at the end of stage 2, maybe if Crafton wins stage 1 and 2 and Ben Rhodes doesn't get points, it's a whole new ball game, and Crafton no longer really has to win his way in to get into that final 4. So you can see Ben Rhodes there right behind us. Now is Cornelius there with some contact with Grant Enfinger, and he goes into the outside wall. Some damage to that number 77 of that drive-through Toyota Tundra, the fellow Canadian of ours now. Big hit for Cornelius, who missed the playoffs. He will be returning to the Truck Series as well next season as he tries to, of course, better his performance and make a push towards the Xfinity Series the season after. So a very calm stage 1. Other than that, once again here, these short tracks have been just surprisingly calm. It's been the mile and a half, like I said, that are usually the crazy ones in the road courses sometimes, and the plate tracks, of course, as we just saw at Talladega. But I would make a pass here on the 38 of Todd Gilliland. So we would move up into the 6th position, and then we would try to run down Jonathan Ramos here. And stages, by the way, were 15 laps in stage 1, 15 laps in stage 2, and then of course a stretch to the end. So we came through to start the final lap of stage 1, running P6 behind Jonathan Ramos, IDK player. We stole a win from him recently at Las Vegas there in the final couple of laps, but it's Matt Crafton leading the way into turn 3. As you can see, Ramos and myself, I'm actually going to go sliding, and we're going to go spinning through turns 3 and 4. The caution's going to come out a couple seconds early, as I just completely sailed it off into turn 3 way too hard. I lost control. We saved it. Stage over, but we gave up a bunch of track position. I was certainly finding the limit of the truck here, and unfortunately, we gave up a lot of track position. So you saw no stage points for Ben Rhodes, and you saw Matt Crafton just win the stage. That's 10 points that Matt Crafton just gained on Ben Rhodes right there. And Creed, he was getting some stage points, so he's going to potentially as well overtake Ben Rhodes in points, and that could put Ben Rhodes in a potential elimination position, surprisingly here. So we were underway for the start of stage 2, and I wasn't really worried about that at this point in time. I was just trying to, of course, sort myself out and work my way through the field, because we got good speed here in Martinsville, but unfortunately we made that mistake, and I didn't bother pitting for tires there after that. I just wanted to get rolling for stage 2, and we were continuing to quickly slice our way through the field. We were now up into 18th place here behind the number 3 of Jordan Anderson. I'm going to send one up the inside inside of him late here in stage 2, 5 laps to go in the stage. Now some contact though with Jordan Anderson. We go into the outside wall and then we hit the inside wall spinning, and the caution comes out for the second time here today. It's not been a good day or good evening for us in Martinsville. That is the second time we have had an accident there. I bring it to the pit lane this time. I said, let's fix the truck. We had about 20 seconds of optional, and we fixed it up and got back going for the start of stage 3. And Matt Crafton had won stage 2, by the way, and Ben Rhodes again had not picked up stage points. So to start stage 3, Crafton was out by 7 points behind Sheldon Creed, and Creed, it was only 2 points behind Ben Rhodes. So Ben Rhodes is in by 9, and while Creed is running currently way better than Ben Rhodes, so that puts Ben Rhodes out because Crafton is beating Ben Rhodes by more than 9 positions on the track here in stage 3. So Crafton currently is not in a must-win scenario, but currently is leading the way and dominating this race. So Ben Rhodes, as it stands currently, is going to be eliminated from the playoffs. I was on these fresh 4 tires slicing through the field. I had already passed Ben Rhodes myself, and now I was up to the inside of Sheldon Creed here. 23 laps to go, not a lot of time, but we have such a huge tire advantage by pitting at the end of stage 2, rightfully so, to fix our damage, that we can win this race now because of our tire advantage. We got into the top 10, we got to P7, got alongside the outside of the 75 of Parker Klagerman, and we're going to go around the outside to get the 6th position from that 75 Chevrolet Silverado, and then we would go to the outside of Michael Moods. We would pass him as well. We would get to Travis Brown, who's having a strong run here in P4. I would go up the inside of him, and we're going to pass him as well. Look at the difference these 4 fresh tires are making. It is unbelievable, and I knew we were in perfect position to steal the win here today in Martinsville. Now, getting wrecked late in stage 2 ended up being perfect for us. Now, we lunge up the inside of Carson Hocevar, who's having a career day here in 3rd place. Well, not 3rd place anymore. He goes down to 4th as I take that 3rd spot. We run down Jonathan Ramos here with 8 laps to go. I run right into the back of him. I said, get out of my way. I'm coming through. I want to win this race for the 5th win, I think it would be, on the season for us now, as we have had an unbelievable late season tear here in the Truck Series, and we are continuing that here today as we now make the push to run down the 88 of Matt Crafton. So just 7 laps is all I had to run down that 88 truck, and we come through to 5 to go, and you can see the gap was closing. We were quickly running down Crafton here. I clipped the wall there on the straightaway, no big deal, but we just get closer and closer and closer. 3 laps to go, approaching 2 laps to go, within about 3 truck lengths of that Menards Toyota Tundra now. As you can see, Crafton as well is approaching some lap traffic of none other than Jennifer Jo Cobb in that 10 truck. So we are very, very close here, coming up to the final lap in Martinsville, and you can see Crafton is right on the back bumper of Jennifer Jo Cobb, but I'm on his back bumper. White flag in the air, down into turn 1. Crafton leaves the door wide open. He's thinking maybe going around the outside, but that's not going to work. I'm going to slice up the inside. We're going to take the lead on the final lap in Martinsville. A last lap pass. I lunge into turn 3, some contact actually with Jennifer Jo Cobb, but we keep it clean. We come through to steal the win on the final lap in Martinsville over Matt Crafton, who still advances into the final 4 because of Ben Rhodes' terrible performance in Martinsville. So Crafton did not need to win. He makes it into the final 4 along with myself, winning 2 of the 3 races in this round. So what a round it was of playoff racing for us here in Martinsville. We pick up the victory again, and you can imagine, of course, John Hunter Nemechek's in the final 4, but the final 4 grid is set as you see the finishing order. It's myself, it is John Hunter Nemechek, Sheldon Creed, and Matt Crafton, who will compete for a championship. You see, Rhodes ends up being eliminated by just 2 points. Creed made it by 3, Crafton made it by 2. Chandler Smith and Zane Smith, that is, not even close, LOL. As we jump through into the Xfinity Series, really quick to check on what happened there. It was AJ Allmendinger who would pick up the win in Martinsville over 2nd place of David Schildhaus, and that 2nd place for David Schildhaus actually was enough to put him into the final 4. Allmendinger won his way in. Burton made it into the final 4 as well, and Justin Allgaier was your 4th driver into the final 4. He didn't have a great day here in Martinsville, but it was enough to, of course, allow him to squeeze in. So David Schildhaus will be competing for a championship as a rookie. Allmendinger, Allgaier, and Harrison Burton as well will be competing against him. Now we, of course, shift our focus really quick towards the Cup Series side of things here. Kyle Busch would hold off Kyle Larson for the victory. They both would advance as well into the final 4. Kyle Busch won his way in. Larson pointed his way in. Denny Hamlin as well has advanced, and Martin Truex Jr. made it. So basically, it's Kyle Larson versus Joe Gibbs Racing for the final 4 spots in Phoenix Raceway in the next episode in the season finale. And now we jump through to the end of this long episode of racing. There was so many races going on. We jump through into the now subscriber race here, or the community member race. We were at Langley Speedway for race number 3 of 5, and the final 2 races will be in the season finale in the next episode, so stay tuned on that. But it was Emmanuel Gonzalez Soto leading the way here. Now, we had 2 cars get a start violation. You had Thomas Hasser right there and Marcus Grawl as well, and no one had anything for Emmanuel Gonzalez Soto. He was dominating this race here now, and he was cruising to victory, and that's exactly what would happen. We would come straight through to the final lap, 15 laps in, 1 lap to go at this point here, and Emmanuel Gonzalez Soto comes through turn 3 and out of turn 4, and he is going to win here race number 3 on the season, and hopefully keep his championship hopes alive as you see the rest of the field coming through to cross the line. So we're going to check what the standings look like here in that now. As you can see, Bradley Cole has a 7-point lead over second place. Keep in mind the champion will move up into the Truck Series in the next season, so they're going to be fighting as hard as they can to win this championship. And then you got Bryce Egan there, 7 points out, Hayden 9 points out, Emmanuel Gonzalez Soto with a good run, puts them 12 points below now. But that does it. That wraps it up for this episode of our NASCAR My Driver Career Mode. A lot to unpack here today, and I hope you guys enjoyed. In the next episode, we end the first chapter of the prologue in the Truck Series as we go for a championship in Phoenix. Of course, we'll look at who won the Xfinity Series Championship and Cup Series as well, and wrap up the first season already of the Community Member Series here in the late model. So I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you guys in the next one. Have a great day, everybody.